So, hi guys. It has been a while. By a while, I think it's been like a week, maybe, that I put a video up. A lot of stuff's been going on with my computer, and it's taken me a while to find a webcam recorder that I can use on my computer, because for some reason stuff isn't working. Sending out good vibes. Today was a really good day. I was very confident in my gender, although I was misgendered a lot today, but sadly that's something I'm starting to get used to a point where I'm delusioning myself. I'm very aware when someone misgenders me, but I just pretend like, oh, nope, they're calling me the right name. Yes, I have the right gender, yes. It's the best thing I can do so that it doesn't, bother me too much. Yeah. So today's advice is going to just be more specifically of, don't give a crap what other people think. I know I've mentioned this in a couple other videos, but this is really important. Really, really important. The less you care about other people, the less stressed you'll be, at least the more content you'll be, and you won't have to be constantly worrying about trying to please someone else who doesn't actually care about you. Now, if you have a good friend, they'll care about you, and they'll tell you right, but they'll give you the right kind of opinions. Or, I guess that's not right. The right kind of advice. If they are not giving you the right kind of advice, and they're not really treating you like how a friend should treat you, then they're not being a good friend. And that's not good. So, but yeah, growing up, I tried my best to not really worry about what other people thought, and then somewhere during the line over the years, I started caring. And then when I realized I was trans, my constant thing is constantly trying to look like a guy for other people, trying to make them look at me and think I'm a guy. Now, I still do that, in the sense that I still try to look like a guy, but it's for my sake. So I can look at the mirror and say, I'm a guy. It's a little difficult. I still look like a woman, and sometimes I kind of sound like one, and then I get upset because I'm not really a guy. But for the most part, I'm very confident in myself, because I have forced myself to think, I'm not doing this for them, I'm doing it for me. If I was doing anything for the world, I wouldn't have short hair and try to dress like a guy. I'd look like a girl. I'd be a girl. I would be cisgender. But trying not to cuss. Forget the world. Okay? I'm not trying to be like, isolate yourself, be a hermit. No. If someone thinks bad about you, forget about them. They're not important to you. The important people will look at you and say, you are fantastic. And if you mess up, they'll be like, yeah, you messed up, but hey, you can try again. Or, it's not the end of the world. People who don't care will look at you and say, damn, you messed that up big time. And make you feel like crap about it. And not try to be like, you can fix it. Be like, man, you messed this up. Those are the wrong kind of people that you do not need in your life. Now, for those who misgender you, keep in mind, if it's your parents, for example, they've known you and birthed you and have known you for many, many years as your birth gender and birth name. Cut them a little slack, and just try to gently remind them every time they mess up and just, correct them. I do the same thing. My parents have known me had known me for 20 years, almost 21, literally 3 months away from my 21st birthday, when I discovered I was trans. Or before I discovered I was trans. So, yeah, they still mess up. But I know that they're trying. And that's all that really matters to me, is that they try. And that's my suggestion for you. When you meet someone new, and you explain, if that's what you choose to do, is explain, make sure to say, like, I'm a guy, please make sure to use the right pronouns, or I identify as a guy. See, I usually say I identify, because it's easier to explain why I look like a girl, and why I might, most of the time, use the women's restroom, because I was born as a female, but I feel more comfortable as a male. For the most part, if they're curious, other people, they'll ask you questions. For instance, I think the most question I get most often is, if you identify as a guy, which bathroom do you use? And I'll be honest, because I've used the women's restroom for so long, and because I haven't gotten up the courage to use the men's restroom very much, I generally use the women's restroom. And it kind of upsets me, because of the fact that I identify as a man and I'm going into a women's restroom, I'm okay as long as no other women come in there. But I'm always scared, oh gosh, someone's going to come in here and see me. I have to remind myself that they look at me and they say a girl. Even if I wear my he, him, his pin or my other pin, they're going to see a girl and not see my pin. And they're not going to freak out about it. Which kind of upsets me, but I'd much rather that than walk in and be like, oh, it's a guy! But I still haven't gotten up the courage to go into the men's restroom, and that makes me so mad. I love it when places have, like, family restrooms, because it's easier for me. I do feel a little bad, because usually there's only one family restroom, and there's families who need to use them, and that's why they need more. Like, I don't remember the mall's name, but there's a mall down in Newport. I think it's just the Newport Mall. I don't know. But inside, on like the second floor, I think it is, where the bathrooms are, there are 2 family restrooms. And I don't know if that's just because the mall's so big. I'm not really sure, because I've been to other malls, and I've seen they've only had 1. So, that's a fantastic idea. More places should just have gender-neutral family restrooms, because that would at least make me comfortable for the time that I'm still physically female. And I kind of, for my comfort level, have to use the women's restroom. But that's me. If you do not feel comfortable using that of your birth gender, use the one that you feel comfortable with. Do not let anyone tell you you can't use it. As long as you're careful, like, MTF trans, you should be fine, because you can go into a stall and just sit and go. FTM trans, it might be a little bit more difficult. You would just have to go into a stall and pretend you're pooping. But be careful. Please do. Because although you should definitely be able to use the bathroom that you're comfortable with, there are going to be people who are like, oh, you can't do that, that's gross, you're going to try to touch other people. Like, no, we're not. We're just trying to go to the bathroom. What I don't completely understand is when people do that, like, freak out about something like that. Like, please leave me alone, I have to go to the bathroom. That's it. What's the issue? It's just that they don't understand. Also, if you're trying to explain to someone what being trans is like, and they're not trans and they don't know what it is, try to keep in mind that they don't understand. They don't understand what it's like to have lived in your skin, in your body for so long, and have not felt comfortable with it. You know, it was always, like, when I was growing up, it wasn't as strong, but I did notice I tended to lean more towards boyish things, short haircuts, shorts or pants rather than skirts. And it wasn't until high school that I really started noticing this. Like, man, I really like keeping my hair short, and I wore baggy shirts and soccer shorts in high school. Like, I think there was once or twice I wore a skirt. I did wear some girly clothes once, just to confuse everyone, because I usually wore shorts, and it was pretty fantastic, to be honest, because nobody recognized me. But anyway, nobody understands that. Nobody but other trans people, or other people who, you know, realize they shouldn't be the gender they are. So unless they're purposely trying not to understand, purposely messing up, give them a little slack. Because you can try to explain it to them. I tried. It's just, or trying to compare it to something that they might understand. It's really hard. All I can say is just do your best to explain it. And when answering questions, just be honest. As honest as you possibly can. If it's something that you're really uncomfortable with answering and you do not want to answer it, you do not have to. Just calmly explain, like, I'm sorry, I do not, or don't even apologize if you don't want to. Be like, I don't feel like talking about that, or I do not feel comfortable talking about that. Most people will be, you know, polite and be like, okay, alright, move on to the next question. If not, walk away. They're not worth it. And this video is running really long. Alright, I'm going to cut it here. Remember, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Remember, your gender is always valid no matter what. Don't take crap from other people. Don't do things for other people. I hope you all have a wonderful day and stay safe.